Well, good morning, and thanks for joining us here. It is 8:29 here this morning, coming up on 8:30, of course, for our 8:30 stream show. I'm Mitch Carter. It is Tuesday, December 2nd.
That's right. I am Casey Mason. Thanks so much for joining us today. As you know, that main headline, it's been a snowy, wintry morning. The Tri-State really saw its first bout of winter weather here in our area. Of course, spoiler alert, we do know that alert day that we've been on for this winter mix is going to be ending soon. Of course, Arden Gregory will be up next here with the details you need to know. But first, let's talk about some of the stories we wanted to recap here this morning. You know, the snow, it really seems to be out of our area for the most part here. Some good news there. But, you know, it did still leave behind some of those slick spots there on the road. So just be safe as you head out the door here today. And some of that could freeze again overnight. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet is sharing just some tips to get you out to the door safely here today.
Yeah, first up, they say slow down and give snowplows plenty of room on the road, and also keep a distance of at least 3 car lengths from the car in front of you. And, of course, slow down when approaching intersections, off-ramps, or bridges.
That's right. And we also know that this morning's weather here, it is already being blamed now for some crashes. This took place really kind of, as you would say, in the middle of the night here early this morning. Kentucky State Police Trooper Corey King says that a semi there in this photo that you're seeing actually slid off the Audubon Parkway around, this happened about 2 o'clock this morning, happening there in the westbound lanes near exit 10. Now, Trooper King also says that there were a few slide offs on I-69. Thankfully, no injuries reported. But again, just a reminder that, you know, the snow may not still be on the roadways there, but you're still dealing with a lot of slick spots.
Yeah, we interviewed Corey this morning, and he mentioned as well, you know, that what we might see right now as time's kind of gone on here this morning as the sun's come out. It's gotten better, but he mentions anything left over on the roads will refreeze again overnight. They're keeping an eye on that. That's KSP there. So as a reminder here, you know, including the weather as well as any sort of delays and closures, you can always get up to date with our 14 First Alert weather app. Got a QR code there on your screen. And of course, if you can't scan that right now, watch on your phone, no big deal. You can also go to your app store and search up 14 First Alert. And as always, with that, you can also send us pictures and videos of the weather in your area, and we use that all the time. You can also get live updates from our meteorologists here. You know, we're biased, but they do a great job.
Definitely. And hey, speaking of those pictures and videos that you guys are able to send in, we had a buddy of ours who had the day off, but was still kind of working out there. That's right. We wanted to show off some of this video here for you this morning.
Yeah, this is from Byron Douglas here. It's 14 First Alert meteorologist. He says these are taken around 4 o'clock this morning in the Newburgh area here. Got his phone out, getting some video there. And Byron says the main roads there were wet while there was some slush on some of the secondary roads. You watch this video here, you can see, obviously this is several hours ago now, but you can see just a little bit still out there on those roads here this morning. So we were keeping an eye on here with our several live interviews and talking over stuff with meteorologist Arden Gregory.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, as you mentioned, you know, that was obviously several hours ago that video was taken. So the sun is now officially up. Now, this video here was actually taken by former 14 News Sunrise photojournalist Kirk Duncan. Kirk, we appreciate you sending these in to us. Of course, he retired a little earlier this year. So he was happy he didn't have to be out there in all the snow and slush this morning capturing this. But, you know, still an effort made to send this into us, probably from, I'm guessing, a front porch maybe.
Yeah. Keeping himself
Nice
inside now, enjoying that retirement.
That's right.
Right now, it's, 8:32 here. Wanted to talk about one more thing here. We got a push alert here, an email we got this KYTC, their cabinet there, talking about eastbound Western Kentucky Parkway blocked by a crash at the Green River Bridge. Now, still trying to get some more information on that right now, but it appears, at least at the moment right now, it's at the Muhlenberg, Ohio County line. So like I said, still working on that, keeping an eye on that as the day goes on here. But for now, like you mentioned, the spoiler alert, kind of rough this morning, but the alert day is ending very, very soon. We want to bring in 14 First Alert meteorologist Arden Gregory after us here. She'll be by shortly to talk about what's left for the alert day here on this Tuesday, and then looking ahead to the rest of the week.
That's right. You guys stay safe out there. Allow a little extra time this morning. Of course, we are the warm-up act here. Let's get to our main headline. Keep it right here with Arden coming up next.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices.
Well, good morning. I'm 14 First Alert meteorologist Arden Gregory. Like we've been saying, we've been on alert since last night and all morning long for this snowy, slushy situation we've got going on out there. Now, the snow is gone. I should mention that. You're not going to get any additional snow. Whatever you've got is all you're going to get. But we kept the First Alert weather day going through the morning commute because we did get some snow accumulation. I got mainly reports around 3/4 of an inch to an inch of snow, but there were some isolated reports up closer to 2 inches. So totals-wise, it panned out about the way we thought it would. But there are also some slick, slushy conditions still hanging around out there. So be aware of that if you are getting ready to head out the door. I know a lot of folks are already getting to work around this time, but if you're going to be out the door a little later, first of all, if you park outside, just know that that inch of snow, it may not have stuck to the roads, but it did stick to the tops of the cars. So if you park outside uncovered, you will have to clear snow off your car. So give yourself a couple extra minutes. I know that caught some people off guard this morning. They peeked out the window, said, oh, the roads aren't too bad, left at their normal time, then got out there and were like, oh no, my car is completely covered, and they had to take extra time to clear that off. So a lot for that. Give yourself time to clear that snow off your car, get it completely cleared off. That's safest for both you and the people around you. And then also watch for those slushy spots. We got lucky that the pavement was just warm enough that most of the snow last night didn't actually stick to the roads. But we have just enough that it is just patches where it's kind of slushy and slick. Some of it kind of melted and then refroze a little bit as the night went on. So there are icy patches out there. This is a live look at the intersection of I-69 and the Lloyd. Still very cloudy there. The roads there look like they're in pretty good shape, but I do know that places like bridges and overpasses, as well as on and off ramps there, these are the kind of places that tend to be your trouble spots, especially those bridges and overpasses, because they have cold air going under them as well as over them. They tend to freeze first. So if the rest of the road is wet, those bridges and overpasses may actually be icy in some situations. Let's take a look at another bridge. This is the Twin Bridges looking over into Henderson. Again, traffic moving along smoothly. 41 seems like it's in pretty good shape in most places, but I will say I got a text just before we came on the air here from somebody who lives back Wolf Hills Road there, which is right where they just finished tearing up that intersection. As soon as you cross the bridges, you turn left there and loop around behind Audubon Park. They said there were several icy patches through there and that they were even fishtailing at times. So again, there are still spots where it is slick. It's not widespread, but you do want to keep that in mind. Don't use your cruise control when it's wet or slick out there. Give yourself plenty of time to get where you're going. Don't speed. In fact, you may even have to slow down at times. And again, clear all of the snow off your vehicle before you go anywhere. It's going to stay cold, kind of partly cloudy and slushy through the rest of the day. Tomorrow, we really thaw out. It's going to be mostly sunny and warmer, but briefly warmer. That warm up does not last very long. We then cool right back down. The rest of the week will be rather chilly, and we have some more spotty rain and snow chances to talk about too. So let's dig into what we've got now moving forward. We've talked about what has already happened. We had that mix of rain, sleet, and snow move through overnight last night. From about midnight to 2 a.m., we actually had pretty widespread snow showers. Like I said, this played out pretty similar to how we were expecting it to. So hopefully none of this was a surprise. The last of that snow moved out very early this morning. So really we've been dry essentially all morning long. That alert again was just for the lingering impacts, as we wanted to make sure you were aware that even though the snow is gone, it's still there on the road. So there are still some icy, slushy, slick spots out there. So be on the lookout for that. I am going to let the First Alert weather day expire at about 9 o'clock this morning. I really just wanted to get you through the morning commute. I'm not going to keep staying on alert though, just because it's going to be below freezing. At this point, everybody should be aware that the roads are slick, and I don't think we need to keep alerting you to that. As we go through the day today, I do think conditions will improve. We'll warm up at least a little bit, although it'll still be pretty chilly, and we'll get some sunshine. That'll help out. It's mostly cloudy out there now. It's going to stay mostly cloudy through the next couple of hours, but as we get into this afternoon, the clouds will break up and we will get a little bit of sunshine in here. It'll then be mostly clear overnight and into the day on Wednesday. Pay attention to these little wind arrows. I know they can be hard to see sometimes, but Tomorrow, our wind direction is going to be coming from the south-southwest, so that's actually going to be pulling warmer air into the tri-state. That southerly flow plus plenty of sunshine is really going to warm us up. Tomorrow is going to be about 10 degrees warmer than today, but it doesn't last. By Wednesday night, we cloud back up. We may even see a stray sprinkle or flurry overnight Wednesday night into very early Thursday morning as a cold front swings through, and you can see the impact that that has on our wind direction. Thursday will then be mainly dry, partly cloudy, but noticeably colder as we're going to have this cold wind coming in from the north then on Thursday. As for our temperatures, sitting in the mid to upper 20s in most locations right now. It's currently 24 in Evansville and Mount Vernon, 25 in Newburgh and Henderson, Owensboro sitting at 26. But when you factor in that cold wind from the northwest, it actually feels like many of us are in the teens. So it is very cold out there this morning. As we go through the rest of the day, that wind will gradually start to die down later this afternoon and evening. We'll get a little sunshine in here this afternoon as well, but still, we're only talking about climbing into maybe the lower 30s, mid 30s, which feels very optimistic. I think lower 30s for most of us as we're sitting in the mid 20s right now. Once we get into the overnight hours, that wind dies down. That's good news because you don't want to be dealing with a wind chill, but it is going to be cold out there tonight. Mostly clear skies. Temperatures will drop back into the upper teens to low 20s. Very possible some of us will start tomorrow morning, even without a wind chill, actual temperatures dipping into the upper teens with temperatures that cold. Another thing to keep in mind, and I know Trooper Corey King mentioned that this morning, if there's any liquid of any kind still left on the roads this evening, let's say this afternoon, sun pops out, things start to melt a little bit, trickle down. As we get into the overnight hours, that could then refreeze. So we could be dealing with some patches of black ice overnight tonight as it is going to get very cold. And then tomorrow, the sun breaks out. We've got that wind coming in from the southwest, pulling that warmer air into the tri-state, and that pushes us into the lower 40s. Now, for some perspective, our normal highs this time of year are around 50. So that's still nearly 10 degrees cooler than average, but it's going to feel like quite the warm up after the cold weather we've had out there today. It does not last, though. We drop right back into the lower 30s again on Thursday. Thursday morning, I'm concerned that with that cold front moving through, it'll be a little breezy. Temperatures will drop into the 20s again Thursday morning, but those wind chills could get down as low as 10 to 15 degrees. So we're talking about serious cold and a serious wind chill Thursday morning. And staying cold all day long Thursday. We warm up a bit then as we get into the weekend, but we've got some more of these just very spotty rain and snow chances. So let's talk about that. We had this weather system that moved through overnight. It's off to our east now. We are in the clear. The clouds will clear as we go through the day today. Tomorrow will be mostly sunny, but then we've got that cold front coming in from the northwest. So we've got warm air flowing in from the south tomorrow. Then this cold front swings through. That's where we could maybe see a stray sprinkle or flurry overnight Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. Most of us will stay dry though. Very, very low impact. Really what you're going to notice from this is as that cold front swings through, that wind direction changes. Thursday morning, it's going to be cold. It's going to be breezy. The wind chill could be down as low as 10 to 15 degrees, and it'll stay cold all day on Thursday. Friday, a low pressure system is going to move through the deep south. I'm questioning whether or not this will actually make it to us. We could maybe see a shower or a brief snow flurry sort of on the northern edges of that system on Friday, mainly Friday morning. But there's also a very real chance that all of this will end up staying to our south. So there's a chance of a shower on Friday, but a slim one. It would just be a little sort of glancing blow that morning. Saturday looks like it'll be dry with a few peaks of sunshine, but then this next low pressure system, that one moves in on Sunday. This is what I think is probably our best chance at seeing rain showers possibly mixing with snow is on Sunday. That low pressure system I think will pass almost just right through our region. Then as it moves out, we've got yet another one on the way Tuesday of next week. So now we're talking a whole week from now. That one looks like it'll probably move through the Great Lakes region, but we could kind of get caught up on the bottom end of that one and maybe catch a few stray showers on the southern end. So these rain chances are very, very spotty. We've got got, like I said, that slight chance we could get caught on the northern edge of a system Friday and then on the southern edge of a system next Tuesday. I'm not totally convinced that we're actually going to get either one of those, though. They may end up missing us entirely. That's why Sunday's the only day that I've got even a real noticeable chance of rain or snow. That's the one that looks like it'll track right over top of us. But even that looks like it's going to be a pretty weak system. So I think it would be light and scattered at best, not a major impactful system. But I want you to be aware that there are still, 2 or 3 more chances, slim chances, but chances that we could get a few showers or maybe even a few more snow flurries over the next 7 days. This alert day for this morning, though, again, is just for those sort of lingering effects, as it is kind of icy and slushy on some of the roadways out there this morning. So just be aware of that. And we could still be dealing with some black ice and isolated slick spots even through the night tonight, as it's just not going to warm up very much. So we could still have some slick spots out there. All right, let's check in on the comments real quick. Suzanne says it's cold and slick. Yes, it is, Suzanne. That is a good way to describe this morning. That's why we've had that first alert weather day in place, is to make sure no one was caught off guard by the fact that it is cold and in some spots it is slick this morning. We have had several accidents. So far they've all been pretty minor, but nonetheless, nobody wants to start their day by putting their car in a ditch. So please be very, very careful out there. Yes, Albert, it is cold out there, definitely. We are in the freezer right now. Like I said, we're not expecting any major storm systems. We could maybe catch a stray shower here or there. I think the best chance is probably on Sunday, but even that is not a guarantee. Good morning, Ashley. And yeah, it looks like Nashville could get a little bit of a rain-snow mess on Friday. So keep that in mind if you're traveling down south for the weekend. That system that I mentioned could maybe just clip us on Friday, could bring kind of a rain-snow mix mess, kind of like what we had just here recently to areas to our south at the end of this week. You're welcome, Karen. All right, if nobody has any other questions, oh, I've got one more. Marcus asking about 4:30 this afternoon. We should have mainly clear skies by 4:30 this afternoon. There may still be a few clouds hanging around out there, but it's going to be mostly clear. It's still going to be chilly, though. We'll probably only be in the lower 30s at 4:30, maybe even starting to already descend back down into the upper 20s. But I would say probably mostly clear and in the lower 30s at 4:30 this afternoon. So I hope that helps. Again, some patches of slick spots still possible through the rest of the day today, and even overnight tonight. We won't completely thaw out until tomorrow, and then we'll keep an eye on those other rain and snow chances through the rest of the week, but none of them have me real excited just yet. So we'll keep an eye on them, and if it looks like it's going to be impactful like it was this morning, we'll add another first alert weather day to keep you updated on that. All right, if there's no more questions, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Everybody drive safe, stay warm, and have a great rest of your day.